Hello and welcome to the Raising Kellan podcast. My name is Marsh Naidoo and I blog at raisingkellan.org, where we curate resources for families experiencing disabilities. This episode will be aired on October the 2nd, 2024, and it is the start of the fall season here in Tennessee. It's getting crisper and cooler in the mornings, but we still have those warm days. What better way to kick off the season than to talk to the folks at the Tennessee State Parks? The Tennessee State Parks offers an amazing opportunities for families to get out and enjoy this time of year. As always, remember, content provided on this podcast is for your information, and if you seek specific advice, to contact a trained professional. Today's episode is brought to you by Tate Therapy Services. So grab that cup of coffee, put your feet up, and get ready for some awesome conversation. Today, I am joined by Tate as well as Kim Shofinski from the Tennessee State Parks. Don and Kim, welcome to the Raising Kellan podcast.
Thanks for having us. It's good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well, Don and Kim. So, Kim, I have a quick question, and if you can give the listeners some clarity, as far as the Tennessee State Parks, the umbrella that this department falls under, as well as distinguishing between the Tennessee State Park system and the National Park system.
Sure, happy to help clarify that. So in Tennessee, our state park system is within a state department called the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. And this department is responsible for the regulatory side of environmental permitting, as well as the Bureau of Conservation, which oversees the state park system, which currently is 59 parks within Tennessee. And this is separate from the National Park System, which oversees parks all across the country. In Tennessee, we have the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is the most well-known, but that is managed on the national level and not the state level.
Got you. John, I heard about the work you're doing at the Tennessee State Parks as far as accessibility from Chrissy Hood, who does a lot of work as far as the adult changing tables. This really excites me. We're a family that enjoys the outdoors, and I just would like to know from you, sir, what is in place or what is being planned for in terms of improving accessibility to individuals and families experiencing disability, primarily within the state of Tennessee?
That's a good question. I'd kind of like to start kind of where we started this process at. So we really started really kind of focusing on accessibility back around 2022. And early on, as we were going through this, we very quickly decided, and we knew that Tennessee State Parks they're forever and they're for everyone. So with saying that, we knew that there was a large group of individuals who couldn't enjoy our parks. So we've taken an initiative to humbly learn on how to service not just the guests that we currently have, but all guests. And in doing so, we created this push to become the most accessible state park system in the nation. And by doing that, we've partnered with a lot of different groups, such as Chrissy Hood that you mentioned earlier with the adult changing tables. We've partnered with the Disability and Aging Division of Tennessee, Tennessee Department of Health, the Tennessee State Parks Conservancy, and a lot of nonprofits across the state, such as Tucker's House in Nashville and Disability Resource Center in Knoxville. So as we move through that, we created basically a task force of a bunch of individuals that focus on a lot of different areas. Some of those areas include telling full stories, some educational components, different types of AR, VR applications, and then personally, I oversee our physical accessibility realm, and as the team lead, and a few of the things that I deal with on a personal level with state parks is the all-terrain wheelchairs that we've been rolling out, as we mentioned, the adult changing tables. I'm also overseeing installation of some adaptive features for kayak and canoe launches, working with our trails team to do full trail assessments on all of our parks. So that way we can provide clear and accurate data of what to expect when you come out to a trail. So you'll know before you get there if the trail's a hard packed surface, if it's a dirt, what type of obstacles you're going to overcome. Is it a mulch trail? So that way users of our parks get a better understanding of what to expect before they show up at our park.
So, Don, I live here in West Tennessee, and that is super exciting because 5 of the 6 parks that are currently fitted with the adult changing tables seem to be more Middle and West Tennessee. But in particular, Fort Pillow has been posting about the access to the all-terrain wheelchair. How would that work? Say if my family is interested in going out on Sunday to visit Fort Pillow, what would I need to put in place in order to make that trip successful and enjoyable?
Yes. So if you were wanting to visit Fort Pillow, there's really 2 ways that you can utilize one of the all-terrain wheelchairs at one of our parks. They do offer a first come, first service at the parks. However, we don't recommend that because it may have been reserved or there may be another user, and we wouldn't want somebody to just show up at a park and then their experience by not having the adaptive equipment that they need be available that day. So on our website, tnstateparks.com, there is a link where you can reserve an all-terrain wheelchair in advance for your visit. So the way that would work is you would go on, fill out the form with your contact information, and a representative from that park will reach out to you to schedule your meeting or your visit to the park to make sure that everything is in line for when you arrive at the park. That is the easiest way to ensure that your experience will be a memorable one at one of our parks.
So, Don, the great thing about the Tennessee State Park system is that you all just don't offer that day experience. There's oftentimes like accommodation at the parks itself. Can you tell me if there are any plans with regards to accessibility?
Yes. So we are currently updating our website to include accessible features and locations for each of our parks. For each individual park. On the website, it'll provide you a list of what is available, what's accessible, areas of the park that are interesting, such as overlooks, trails, and things like that. But of course, accommodations are needed. And listed on the website is my direct contact information. My email is listed there along with my telephone number. Also, you can reach out to any of the park staff in the visitor centers or one of the park rangers or manager, and they would be able to assist with any type of accommodation that would be needed. It just depends on the accommodation and what what we can do in the time frame that we have.
Don, I think when we think of disability, sometimes the picture that might come to mind might be one of a congenital disability, but disability can also be acquired. I saw an article regarding, this Tennessee State's Park goal to provide service to our veterans as well. Can you talk more to that, please?
I think Kim is a little more set to answer questions regarding that than what I am.
Absolutely. Yeah. Happy to jump in. Yes, to your point, Marsh, we are looking at accessibility and inclusivity and welcoming all kinds of visitors to our parks, including veterans. So we have a Salute to Service program, which offers free opportunities for outdoor recreation at our parks on select days. And that includes camping, golfing, all kinds of other activities, and they're on key dates that are relevant to certain branches of our service. So we have some dates coming up in this fall and then all throughout the year. And then we routinely offer discounts on overnight lodging to veterans too.
That's awesome, y'all. That is awesome. As far as the accessible sports or recreational opportunities, can you speak more to that, either yourself, Don, or Kim?
So we are, especially with the kayak and canoe launches, I believe there's 4 that are currently available across the state. We are in design for multiple others. And we're hoping to have one of those within each area of the state so that our visitors to the parks will have one, usually within about an hour and a half drive to their closest park, to be able to enjoy a kayaking sport. We are also looking at some manual opportunities for trails for interpretive hikes and things like that will utilize different types of equipment.
I can also chime in and say that in addition to our accessible boat launches that are available at the parks permanently, we also partner every year with the American Canoe Association to offer learning how to paddle classes, so water safety classes for paddlers. And typically every year that includes at least one opportunity that provides some physical accessibility accommodations. So those visitors can also participate in that learning opportunity. One other thing to mention about accessibility around outdoor recreation that Don can talk more about is virtual reality and some new initiatives we have in that space that allows visitors who maybe can't physically get to a park all the time still participate in interpretive programming.
Wow, tell us more, Don.
So on that realm, we have released in some different locations. The one that comes to mind early on is there is a VR exhibit now of Dunbar Cave here in Clarksville. So while we understand that that not everyone can visit the cave or are comfortable in an enclosed and dark location, we've provided a virtual reality tour of that cave where you can go in at the park. They'll utilize the Oculus style glasses and it'll allow you to do a virtual tour of the entire cave network that's available on the other tours. Another AR/VR item that Kim was alluding to, we can find at Frozen Head State Park. And what we've done is we have a homestead that was built back during the Revolutionary War period that we have done a project on to stabilize. And as part of that, we've created a virtual reality set around that park. So when you go onto the app on your phone, while you're either on site or even at your home, you can get on there and you can learn about the Stonecipher-Kelly house and the family and that region through AR/VR, utilizing your cell phone without actually having to be at the site. So it's a good educational tool that we can use not only for somebody that's at home that cannot make it there, but also for school groups. We can bring that interpretive experience into the classroom to help better teach about that time period of U.S. history.
John, what would you say to families that have the disability experience in terms of encouraging them that, hey, guys, come on and enjoy the outdoors? Tennessee State Parks is working exceptionally hard to remove some of those barriers to access.
Well, I would like to assure those families that Tennessee State Parks is doing everything that we can to make the outdoors enjoyable for everyone, regardless to the circumstances. Tennessee State Parks is taking pride in opening doors that haven't been opened. It has been a humble experience learning some of the difficulties that some individuals have had visiting our parks, and it's been a very eye-opening experience. With doing that, it has made us definitely reconsider the way that we operate within the physical realm, since that's what I'm the team lead of, and ensuring that we have spaces that are friendly, accommodating, and enjoyable for everybody, and not just focusing on those with mobility issues, but focusing on a wide range of different disabilities. So I encourage every family, if they've had an experience or they just don't think that they can enjoy our parks, to give us a second chance, take a look at what we're doing, and check the website, check the information that's available, and come out and enjoy a park.
Kim, is there anything, ma'am, that you would like to add to the conversation before we round up?
No, I don't have anything additional to add. I will go ahead and send you some photos, and I will send you information about how folks can access those virtual reality opportunities as well.
That sounds awesome. Kim and Dawn, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
As always, thank you for listening along on the podcast today. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a rate and review on your podcast platform. If you intend getting out to enjoy this beautiful fall weather, check out tnstateparks.com, as well as the app to enjoy the virtual reality experience of the state parks can be explored on the app, which can be downloaded for Apple and Android phones. And the app is called Explore Tennessee State Parks. And as always, remember, get to the top of your mountain. This is Marsh Naidoo signing off.